Another day at Gracie Baja with Professor Elias today. Fantastic workout. Anything you want to say today? We're working on guillotine chokes. Why is a guillotine so important?
Man, just because it's probably one of the most common ways people are going to try to rush you is bringing their head forward. So it's perfect to attack the guillotine. And you don't have to be like a super strong, like learning jiu-jitsu for years to be able to finish it. So JB just attacked it a couple of times on someone that's been training for 16 years and executed it perfectly. So
So it's so important to be training. All you guys, gals, Gracie Baja, Palm Desert, if you live in the area, it's a great place. I highly recommend it. It just gives you so much confidence. It's getting me in such great shape. And Professor Elias is just a remarkable human being and just wants to see everybody win and strive and just challenge themselves. And that's what it's all about, challenging yourselves right now before bad things happen, because bad things are going to happen to everybody at some point in their life. And we look at what's happening financially and what's happening to the economy and what's happening to the state of affairs. You're going to be challenged, ladies and gentlemen. So this is why I'm here, because I want to challenge myself daily, and it makes me a stronger person mentally, physically, spiritually. And there is nothing negative, in my opinion, about jiu-jitsu. It's only going to make you a better human being, stronger human being. It's really, to me, a way of life. There's a kind of a spiritual aspect to jiu-jitsu. Anything you want to say today to everybody out there before we leave?
the only thing I would add to that is, even if you don't come to a Gracie Baja, go to any jiu-jitsu school near you. It doesn't have to be Palm Desert. It can be all jiu-jitsu is going to help you in life. So anywhere you're at, wherever you're at, check out a jiu-jitsu school.
I agree 100%. And basically put the odds in your favor. So if you can't train here, train where you can and put the odds in your favor. You're going to be happy you did, because you're going to be challenged at some point in your life. And if you're not training, if you're not getting prepared for those challenges in life, you will fail, I guarantee. I guarantee. It is Monday, October 17, 2022. Before I start the video today, a lot of people down in the comments asking to see Kona the Bengal. She has gotten much bigger. Many of you remember her when we just got her. She was a little baby. She just turned a year old, and she is getting very, very big. So a lot of people wanted to see her. Here she is. She's been a fantastic addition to the family. A beautiful, beautiful animal. We love her to death. Just the personality of Bengals is just unlike any other cat. They're just so cool. So I'm going to let her down. And somebody else showed up here, wants to make an appearance. Look at this. We got little boo-boo here, Gigi. So she wanted to come say hi. There she is. A lot of people always ask to see Gigi. There she is. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into what's happening. Later in this video, I'm going to do an unboxing. Just open this, but I'll do an unboxing for everybody. This is what I just got from BULLION, and I believe this stuff is vital right now with everything that is taking place, but we'll do that in a little bit. But let's start. I printed out a few articles today, and the first one: Dow gains 500 points, NASDAQ pops more than 3% as strong bank earnings help fuel relief rally. Dow Jones today up 550 points, NASDAQ up 350, and the 10-year now over 4%. Dollar weakening, we have the 10-year over 4%, and markets across the board up today. It's incredible, while the dollar gets weaker. So why were the bank earnings up? And this obviously had a lot of influence in these markets today. Well, they're able to charge you a lot more now as interest rates go up. Take a look at your credit cards. Now that many people, millions of people, are solely dependent now in survival mode, dependent on credit cards. Average APR on a credit card is sitting at 18.49%, may even be higher now, but many people are paying 27, 28, 30% interest on those credit cards. And guess who's making the money? Well, it's the banks. And so bank earnings through the roof, while the average American now is going to pay more to these loan sharks to borrow money to survive. So very, very interesting. Remember when interest rates were almost nothing and these banks could borrow money for just about nothing, yet they were charging you 15, 16% plus on a credit card, passing on the savings to you. How nice of them. This is why we must get out of the system. If you want to not be a debt slave, you need to exit the system. Don't keep all your money in the bank. Don't be reliant on credit cards. Get your debt paid off. Here's another one from CNBC. Bank of America CEO says latest spending and savings data show that the U.S. consumer is healthy. Bank of America's customers continue to spend freely using their credit cards and other payment methods, he says. Think about what they're saying here, that the consumer is healthy because they have access to credit cards. As long as the credit cards are working, as long as they're paying the minimum balance, these people are okay. So Bank of America saw a 10% increase in payment volume in September. Customers having little trouble keeping up with debt. That's what the Bank of America CEO says today. They're having little trouble keeping up with debt. And I find that very, very hard to believe when 71% of this country is cutting back just to pay for necessities. 73% say that the economy is heading in the wrong direction. The average 401k, this came out today, the average 401k has lost $34,000 on average. That is the latest update today on Fox Business. Average $34,000 loss of the average 401k. MSN forecast for U.S. recession within year hits 100%. That's on MSN. I don't know how many of you believe that it's going to be next year till we hit a recession. I truly believe we're in a recession right now, today. Just by what I can see happening to local restaurants, local businesses, just looking and reading the data daily, what's happening in real estate, what's happening with all the office space, Amazon canceling warehouses. It just goes on and on and on. And we just know that the average consumer now is dependent on credit cards. Credit cards now are keeping everything afloat in this country as far as financially. If you took the credit cards away from the average consumer, it would be game over. But these people are getting deeper and deeper into a trap here, and they're never going to be able to get out. And when things really, really get bad, those credit cards are going to bury people. The debt is going to bury people. The car payments, the rent payments, the medical payments, the credit card payments, it's all going to bury people. Here's one from the New York Post. Home asking prices tumble at record pace as mortgage rates surge. So we're sitting around 7% right now, and it is going to 8%. I think truly we have a very good chance of breaking 8% by the end of this year. 7.9% of home listings reported price drops during the 4-week period ending October 9th. This is according to Redfin. So we watch the markets today absolutely go gangbusters, surging, yet the economy is collapsing. The consumer is collapsing. The consumer dependent and reliant with credit cards in order to survive at this point. Here's one from The Hedge. Canary in the gold mine. Asset seizures could skyrocket due to post-health crisis debt default, says bailiff. Kelowna, BC. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Mike Sundstrom, a licensed bailiff and sheriff in that area, said he has never had so much work on his desk. Every time I turn around, he says, there is a new file coming in. Everything is up, evictions and repossessions. Financial stress is becoming a very real thing for more Canadians. So we're going to see Canadians in very, very big trouble. And we're going to see the same thing happening right here, right now. In fact, I talked to somebody in law enforcement today that I know is a personal friend, very high up. And he was telling us that when the car repossessors come into his area, they have to drop off paperwork. So when the people call up and they report their car stolen, well, the sheriff's department knows that the car was repossessed, so it wasn't stolen. And he says that they're getting about 10 notifications a day of repossessions in his area. Areas next door, right here in the valley, same thing. Think about that, 10 repossessions a day in one area of the desert. In another town, it's another 5 to 10, another 5 to 10 in another town. And so when we talked about this weeks ago, 15,000 auto repossessions taking place every day. How in the world can anybody say we're not in a recession? How can anybody say that the consumer is strong and that the economy is healthy? There is just too much data and too much logic now that there's just no way that this is true. And it's amazing that there's so much contradiction taking place. You can watch one channel and everything is fine, and then you can read something in one of these articles and it tells you quite the opposite. So you got to be really, really careful what you believe, but I think you truly know what's going on. I mean, read the comments down below, drive around in your own cities, talk to your friends, talk to your family members. We all know that this thing is in big, big trouble. And we watched the market go up today, and it did absolutely nothing to help the economy. It did nothing to help you or I. Here's another one. Tourists shocked as number of homeless encampments explodes in DC. This was on the Hedge this morning. This is going to become more and more common across America. I've been shooting videos of this probably at least for 3 years. The encampments, the homeless epidemic that we were filming years ago. And it's only getting worse. And there are now areas in this country that have never seen this before. They're beginning to see it now. They're beginning to realize that it's coming to a town near you, and now it's hitting certain parts of the country, cities, towns, and states that never had to deal with this before. And now people are beginning to realize that this is a big, big problem. And so many people don't understand that by running up the credit cards, running up debt, being absolutely delusional with what is taking place, ignoring reality, many of these same people are going to end up homeless. You got to be paying attention now to what is happening. You got to really pay close attention. So I'm going to finish with this last article, then I'm going to do the unboxing. This comes from CNBC. It came out a couple days ago. I think it's really important to talk about. Xi warns against foreign interference in Taiwan, says China will never promise to renounce force. And I bring this article up because I think it's very, very important, because it is only a matter of time before China does take over Taiwan. And at that point, they're going to have a monopoly in the chip industry. And I think the U.S. is completely defenseless in doing anything. I think it's a hopeless dream to think that America is going to stop China from taking over Taiwan. And, you know, at the same time, here we are threatening Saudi Arabia, and then threatening China that if China does anything, that we're going to get involved over in Taiwan. We're not going to do anything about it. America is losing its strength. People don't believe us any longer. They're not scared of America. And just this article on Zero Hedge the other day with Catherine Austin Fitts talking about the weaponization of cash and how now the Fed is going to continue to raise rates because it's all about the dollar at this point. It's about the control. This is global warfare of currencies right now, and keeping the US dollar the world reserve currency. If we lose that status, and there is a real possibility at some point down the road, we will lose that status. We will not have the world reserve currency, because I truly do believe that gold is going to precede the dollar, and it is going to be the ultimate currency. And I believe it will back some digital or fiat currency, probably coming out of China. It will be the world reserve currency backed by gold. And at that point, the world is going to dump dollars and run to something backed by gold. The world cannot wait to dump dollars because we've weaponized it. We've controlled nations with it. We've started wars over it. We've built over 100 military bases with it by printing money out of thin air and forcing most of the world to buy their oil and their goods in US dollars. So it's only a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen. And so that's why I'm going to get to this unboxing and why I find this so important. This came from SD Bullion over the weekend, and I'll pull one of these out. I got a couple different orders here, and the first one right here is a gold buffalo. Many of you have seen these on my show. I've been, for the last year, ordering quite a bit of these. I think they're probably the best value for the money. Hopefully you can see that. And Another thing that I think is really important to have now, if you're getting into precious metals, especially gold, and it's a gold balance. My friend Ryan, who is a listener and a subscriber of the show, sent me one of these. Full disclosure, sent me one of these. We did a show on it probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago. These are $26. I'll put the link down below. They're on Amazon. Ryan, you know, when he sent me one of these, I just said it was such a great idea, because what you do with this little, I don't know, 6-7 inch piece of plastic is there's 3 different ways you can confirm that your gold is real. It has a scale right here, so I would drop my buffalo in there, and this would be on a flat table, and that should lift, making sure that it weighs one troy ounce. Now, there's 2 other ways here. I can check the width of this buffalo. So say you go to a pawn shop, a jewelry store, a coin shop, you order online, whatever you may do, you always want to confirm what you're getting is real. So I can measure the width of the coin. I put it right in that slot right there. Okay, width is good. Now I can measure the diameter. So I put it right in there, and you can see that diameter fits perfect right in there. So that gives me 3 ways to verify that this is real gold. Now, I don't have an issue with SD Bullion. I trust SD Bullion. That's why I've been buying from SD Bullion for 4 years. Also, link down below if you are interested in buying gold or silver. Again, I don't care if you buy it or you don't. This is not a commercial for SD Bullion or Gold Balance. These are tools. These are assets that I believe in, and this is where I put my money. Now, I have another order from SD Bullion, and these are really, really cool. Let me see if I can pull one of these out for you. These are 1 ounce silver rounds, and they're 10th anniversary SD Bullion rounds. Really cool. I don't know if the camera will focus on that, but I got 10 of these, and again, I got the gold buffalo right there. Very cool. But getting back to this, these are $26. I don't make a dime off of these things. This is Ryan's Amazon page, listener, subscriber. And anytime somebody sends me something that just I think is a great tool, a great asset, something that makes sense, I'm going to talk about it. And just think, if we get into a time where it is more important to have ounces than dollars, where you now are doing a transaction in gold and silver. Well, if you're doing something in gold, and right now you're looking at premiums of around $200 on gold, if we get to a point where gold really begins to climb, what if we get to $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 gold? Maybe you don't have access to the local coin shop. Maybe you don't have a way to verify. You're not going to drill into your gold and verify it. At least you have 3 different ways to verify that what you're getting. So if you're going to do a transaction and somebody's going to give you a couple gold ounces, well, you can verify it 3 different ways with this little plastic tool right here. And again, you may not have access to the coin shop, to a jewelry shop. You're not going to, drill into your gold to check it. You want to verify it, because think about if you're selling a cow, a car, an acre for a couple ounces of gold, or whatever you're doing, you need to verify it. And this would allow me to sleep a little bit better at night. It would allow me to at least somehow do my due diligence and give me 3 ways to verify it. So I think it's a really, really important little tool that you can put away. And if you only use this one time, right now, if you were to buy an ounce of gold from a private party maybe, or a friend, or a coin shop, you're going to pay close to $2,000 today, very close to that. Why not verify it? This right here is going to save you from getting burned, because as we get into a more desperate, collapsing economy, you're going to see people become more desperate, and you're going to see more scams, and you're going to see more fake Rolex watches, more fake silver, more fake gold. It's out there because the criminals and the thieves are going to prey on desperation now. They're going to try to make a quick buck, and oh look, I'll sell you this gold no spot, or I'll sell it for $100 under spot. sounds like a great deal. How do you know it's a great deal unless you know it's real? Verify it. So get one of these. I'll put the link down below, and you can go to Ryan's Amazon page if you're interested in buying something like that. But I just want to share with all of you my purchase over the weekend, which I just received from SD Bullion, gold and silver. And I think that even though the premiums are rising, of course, they're going to continue to rise. I think that these are still the two most undervalued assets on planet Earth. I think they're extremely important. Take a look at what China's doing. Take a look at what the central banks are doing. They're going to continue to stockpile this stuff. And if we come to a point where this Fed pivots, all bets are off. We have no idea how high gold and silver can go. But I will say this. I think that prices are going to be under a lot of pressure as long as the Fed is raising interest rates. And you know what? I'm going to buy it. Me personally, you all can do whatever you want to do. I'm going to buy it on the way down, because if I can buy gold under $2,000 an ounce, I'm very, very happy. If I can buy silver under $25 an ounce, I'm very, very happy. So I'm going to take advantage of the sales right now, because I know that the end game here is we're either going to see a world reserve currency backed by gold or partially by gold. Gold's going to play a huge role here, and silver will come along for the ride. Or we're going to see the Fed pivot and destroy the US dollar. We're going to see hyperinflation. And then at that point, it doesn't matter how many dollars you have, how much cash you have. All that will matter is how many ounces do you have. Ounces of gold, ounces of silver. We are watching a currency warfare take place right now. And we know that fiat currencies never stand the test of time. Gold and silver have been around for over 5,000 years. They're not going anywhere. So I think it's really important for everybody to own some of this stuff. So maybe cut out a couple of lattes a day and buy yourself a little bit of silver. Maybe cut out the weekend vacation and buy a little bit of gold. Not financial advice. It's what I'm doing. I've made a lot of sacrifices to buy this stuff. It does not, you know, beautiful round, beautiful to look at, but I put this stuff away and never even look at it. I don't think about it. It is an insurance policy. It does not do tricks, doesn't entertain me, doesn't keep me warm, doesn't feed me. It's shiny. It sits in a safe, and that's it. And I pray to God I never have to use it, but it is insurance. And if I ever have to use it, I have it, because I don't think cash and paper are going to do much with where we're going. It's going to be ounces. And I think we're going to come to a point in life where we're not going to measure wealth in dollars. We're going to measure it in ounces, just like the central banks are going to do, just like Russia, China, India, the BRICS nations. That's how they're looking at wealth, not these worthless printed fiat currencies that are worth less than monopoly money. So something to think about. I wanted to share that with all of you. We're watching, you know, the markets just roar today based on absolutely nothing. Again, do you really believe everything's going to be okay? Do you really believe things are going to improve? Do you believe the economy is going to bounce back? Do you believe the stock market's going to go back to all-time highs? Do you believe that your dollar is going to buy more than it did a couple years ago? The dollar may be stronger. We may have a stronger dollar index, but the dollar as a currency has lost 97% of its purchasing power, and it's going to lose more. And so don't keep all your eggs in one basket. Don't just put it all in paper. Don't put it all in US dollars. You've got to be diversified. Have some hard assets like gold and silver. I think it's really, really a smart thing to do. I think it's something that you have to do at this point. So everybody has free will. I don't give financial advice, but this is how I'm thinking. I'm just thinking out loud today. So I'm going to leave it there. God bless you all. Have a great day. I look forward to speaking with all of you very, very soon. Please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you share all of my videos, and make sure you subscribe. God bless you all. Talk with all of you soon.